So at that time, and then 1949 is the government, Peoples of China, take over mainland China, and then our government, Republic of China, moved to Taiwan. 1959 is our Bishops' Conference, and the SPD fathers and Jesuit fathers, 3 units making the Furen from that time. I just told you we have 90 Jesuits working here. Now only 1 faculty member, Edmund Ryder. Father, I show you the picture. Please stand up, and you come. You can see the story. You see the red part, literature, philosophy, history. No matter what kind of knowledge you have, you still have needs philosophy thinking, history background. You know more, and then you know a person, right? And the SVD part is green. You see that building, huh? One turn right, then left to right. Can you see that? Yeah. It's a kind of a dragon. Dragon. And then for the boy, the German father said, you build it. They said, what kind of higher education for Chinese? All the people have the higher education, become dragon, the most powerful animal. I don't know, it's not a real. And then also for the girl, Phoenix, means that you have good education and then you make famous, your family famous. Good for your family. Just for SVD parts. This is Jesuit, blue and white. All the buildings you can see are kind of the symbol. There's a kind of chair, stone benches over there in front of the stone chair. Means friendship, dialogue, communication. That's a Jesuit education. So now the new hospital over there.
Over there.
The new one.
Just for 2 years.
Just for 2 years.
Oh, yes.
And then medical school and night school, Jesuit parts. You see the 3 parts, easily to know. And when you enter our entrance gate, you will see 3 columns, 3 bamboos, means 3 units. But the school integrated for 20 years already, right? So all the units like SV, Father, Jesuits, we still have one mission office. I just mentioned the mission director of mission was 1 faculty full-time member. We just teach about 8. So what do we do? You know, how you can say. We do a lot of like last semester. I interviewed 25 PhDs, new teachers. They come talk with them, and then new deans, new chair of the department. In the school, we have about 50 undergraduate students.
Departments.
And then 25 master degree, 14 PhD degree studies. Totally students, 26,000 students. The full-time teachers about 800, 700. Part-time about 2,000 almost. Yeah. So it's a big school. President, vice president. Okay, I think I finished my part. The dean introduced. The dean is dean of management, dean of medical school, and dean of the law school. Okay, I finished my part. Yeah, now you tell our Father General the work we have now. So we have a workshop for the new teachers, a workshop for the new chairs of departments, and always mention about Jesuit values like be with others, be good friends, and influence each other, make a friendship dialogue, this kind of thing, amagis. And we do the student, she's in charge of the student affairs every year. The student leaders, we have three days campus during the night reflecting section for 20 years already. And what else? Louis,
so he is one of the
alumni from the management,
yeah.
school of management. Okay. Maybe.
Outstanding.
Then and Father Luis and the provincial is on the board of the trustees level. We have 4 seats among the 21 seats. So
21 seats.
21 seats, but just only 4 seats. 5? 4, huh? 4.
There were 3 representing us.
the 3 lay people representing us.
It used to be 3 Jesuits on the board of trustees. And now we are 2 Jesuits on the board of trustees plus 2 other lay professors that we introduced to the board of trustees. Yeah.
I'll look at the minutes, there's something
You.
You know, for other Jesuit organizations, Jesuits are boss, right? But here we are servant to him. We
Father David, I think you made a mistake.
So when you talk about
No, you
I
still
make a
the boss.
mistake, yeah,
No,
we
you
also
still
make a
the boss.
mistake because we have the mentality of a boss, you know, the
I have to
emperor.
agree with that. They're
Hey.
not the boss.
Yeah, okay. Yes, yes. Good. So we are servant of him, you know, the team, the things. Anyway, yeah, okay. You started to talk about the work we have now.
Okay.
She get the PhD degree from delegate. She,
So I was
And,
supposed to be there, but because I have to prepare here, so I just say sorry to Father General.
she also CRC member, and now is the chair of the whole country of the committee. Okay.
Okay, Father General, our guest, and President John, our Vice President and Deans, and brothers and sisters. It's our pleasure to welcome Father General's visit. And as a senior CLC member who has been accompanied by Jesuits for decades. So it's my honor to work closely with Jesuits as kind of feedback, I think, because it's not an easy job. Okay. Okay. So Father David just introduced the history of this school, this university, and Jesuit section includes 4 colleges. That is School of Law, College of Management, and College of Social Sciences, and also College of Medicine, with 350 faculty and staff members, and also 9,500 students in this section. Yeah. So, well, I was told to be simple and brief. So I'm not going to report everything we have done in this school, but to share something echoes to the universal apostolic preferences of Society of Jesus, okay? So only 4 points. Okay, 1, to show the way to get through the spiritual exercise and discernment. Spiritual exercise is one of the treasures of Society of Jesus, and which we believe we can benefit our partners in this university. So, with cooperation with Taipei Ignatian Spirituality Center, since last year, we started to share this spirituality with our teachers and staffs. And through experiential lectures, workshops, and 8-day retreat in daily life, which is spiritual exercise in miniature. So Christians or even non-Christians in this school who have been working in these Catholic schools for years have opportunity to test the love or the sweet of the Trinity, and with abundance of positive feedbacks and encouragement from those benefited participants, I think we will continue doing so in the following years. So this is the first point. And the second one, to work with the poor, the outcasts of the world, those whose dignity has been violated in a mission of reconciliation and justice. So we have been, just mentioned, we have been working on service learning program for more than 20 years. So for example, we bring students to where there are people in need. And for example, to some local rural areas and a few countries in Asia, such as India, Thailand, Indonesia, or even in Africa. So for those students with financial problems, we raise funds for them and encourage them to support those other students in need after they grow stronger. So we will teach them, we will encourage them to feedback after they get help. Okay. Then by different social care programs, which involve in some social and NPOs, we encourage students to apply their professions in various services. For example, through crowdfunding platform, our students have raised funds to help many socially disadvantaged groups. And also, we encourage students to serve as volunteers in the legal service center because we have School of Law. So to help those suffered in legal processes. Okay. And 3, to accompany the young in the creation of hope-filled future. JUMOSA, Jesuit Mission Office of Student Affairs, is a student association organized by former student leaders. We empower these former student leaders to accompany another new coming student leaders and after their term. Okay, so when they were off from their position, they can help the other newcomers so they have followers. And with a sense of conscious explanation through continuous activities, we offer local and international partner-based learning opportunity to students, leading to a cultivation of core values such as respect for others, self-awareness, and the responsibility for one's own personal growth, humanistic concern, and care about the development of social justice and global peace. And 4, to cooperate in the care of our common home. In order to restore harmony with creation, we promote reflecting on our lifestyle and our ideals, and contemplating the Creator who lives amongst us and surrounds us. We also organize volunteers to help local small farmers and set up bi-weekly market in this university so that we can learn and share concept of environmental friendly attitude and the development of techniques of sustainable agriculture. Inspired by Laudato Si, we believe these new forms of cooperation and community organization are helpful to defend the interests of small-scale producers and preserve local ecosystems. Through the curriculum of the Department of Public Health, the students share to understand the global environment via ecology. We try to cultivate the students to be the professionals in carrying the global environment and human health promotion. Okay, so there are still many other things we want to share, but time is limited. So our challenge will be how to deepen all these pre-references in the future in this school. So thank you for listening. And may all living God bless us all. Thank you.
Now we invite the President to
Thank you so much. May I assist?
please.
Thank you very much. Yes, Father General Society. On behalf of the German Catholic University, I just want to express my sincere appreciation for the wisdom. Yes, I'm the president of this university since about 20 years ago. No, I come here about 20 years ago. Since during that time, I was the dean of medical college, and Foreign Cancer University is, I think, is the second biggest university in this island, in this country, and totally about 26,000 students, and it's the biggest private university in this country, and we are very appreciative of January to establish 4 major colleges, including the College of Management, also College of Law, and also College of Social Science, and then the last one is the College of Medicine. And I was here to succeed Father Zhu and Sister Lu to be a dean of the medical college. Because I'm a Catholic and I'm very honored to be the dean of the college here. And I respect Father Zhu very much because he founded
medical school.
the medical college by fundraising. And then I succeeded him to establish the medical school and then the very big hospital. It's about 1,000 beds, medical center scale. So it's just founded 2 years ago. So now this university became very comprehensive university in this island. We have almost every field is included in this university. So we have many cross-field talking, and we also have many kind of program, every kind of diversity in every field. And I see the mission of this university has 2 missions. One mission is to keep the Catholic identity of the Chinese society, because this is the only big university in the Chinese society. I think so we should keep the Catholic identity and also report to the Holy See. And the second is to be the first-class private university in our country. So we did a very every kind of effort to be research oriented, also in combined with teaching oriented university. So it is not easy for the private university in this country, because in this country only have very little amount is from the government. The tuition is about 80% of our budget is from the tuition.
Summer tuition. Yeah.
But this university is with about 60% of the budget is from university. Because we have a lot of fundraising, also have some cooperation with industry. So this is a little bit better than other private universities, but still very difficult to run. So that's my job to have a hospital. So I became a president about 7 years ago, and my major job is to make this dream become true, to have a university. To have a hospital. So it's about 67 billion of Taiwan dollars to construct these hospitals, and we have about 50 billion dollars by loan. So we should work very hard to make it even, and this is almost now in 2 years we are only about 4 million deficit now. So it's around very big, and we have very good running in business campuses. So I think this race will go forward, and many colleges are very outstanding, as including management college is the first university in this country to pass the accreditation of
ASSB.
So also this is very good management, good college of the law. They have many very good, very outstanding lawyers, also judges in our society, and they have very high percentage of pass national accreditation rate for the students. So we are very proud of these four colleges established by Jesuits. So I want to thank you for Jesuits. There are so many priests come here, countryside, and to establish the four colleges, and we hope in the future and later on, you can provide us many priests to be our teachers, also some workers in our hospitals, Yes, because that is we got less and less.
The sun will rise with the west.
It's a big problem. Yes. Because in the worldwide, that's most of the famous Catholic universities from Jesuits. Loyola, Georgetown, we have very close cooperation with Georgetown. So I hope we can do more cooperation later on. So thank you very much. Okay, thank you for your time, and I have small gift for you. This is the best wine in Taiwan. To celebrate your 42 anniversary to be a father, right? Yeah.
42. Oh, priest. Okay. Yes.
金门高粱
It's a liquor. It's a
Liquor.
Liquor.
This one.
It's 48% alcohol. 58. 58. Not 48.
Okay. Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.
So now we invite the Vice President for International Affairs. Yeah. Please.
Father General, Legal Father, Father Provincial, and all the beloved Jesuits, including two of my teachers.
Oh, two teacher.
Yes.
Teachers.
Yes. Because I got my undergraduate degree from the College of Management 30 something years ago. 33 years ago. I have to echo the President's comments. The Jesuits had a very significant impact and contribution to the education here in Taiwan. Foreign Catholic University, even though after we established in Taiwan, was supported by the SDD fathers, the Jesuits, and also the Catholic Bishop congregation. But I think, if you look at the current leadership team, I think you can understand the Jesuits, has a lot more impact in this university because the president is from the College of Medicine. So it's a Jesuit-funded college. I'm from the College of Management. I'm the Vice President of International Affairs. Our Vice President for Administration used to be the Dean of the Law School. He's also from the Jesuit-funded college. And our Vice President for Mission, even though he's the SDB president, but he's currently teaching in the College of Management and also got his theology degree from the Forensic Theology. So the president and 3 out of 4 vice presidents actually are Jesuit, has Jesuit roots. So so you can understand the importance of the Jesuit education as well as the impact to the foreign higher education. Myself, probably is also a very special example because I kind of usually I like to use this term. You know, I was raised by the Jesuits because I went to the College of Management here. I lived 3.5 years in theology because there used to be a male dormitory for some students. So I lived there for 3.5 years. And when I finished my college, I was supported by my professor, the dean at the time, who passed away earlier this year. He sponsored my study in the US. So after finishing my master PhD degree from the University of Texas, Austin, I came back to my alma mater and have been here for 26 years. So the Jesuits' education had a very strong influence, you know, on myself, and so that's, I believe that's the reason the president has mentioned. I'm hoping that Father General and the provincial can have more young Jesuits, you know, can be stationed on our campus, because like Father David has mentioned, right now we have only Father Wyden here as a full-time faculty in the entire college, 4 colleges here in the university. Like the president has mentioned, the 4 colleges will have Jesuit roots. Relatively speaking, has done a pretty good job among 12 colleges in this university. The medical school, the College of Management, the law school, and the College of Social Sciences. Other than, you know, we work very hard. We also have lots of international visibility, like the president has mentioned. Like the medical school right now, every year we send our students to Africa to provide service learning programs in Tanzania. Father David, I believe, constantly goes over there. College of Management, we were the first ACSB accredited business school. We are highly involved with the International Association of Jesuit Business School. Actually, I just come back from the annual meeting in Bhubaneswar, you know, India, because this year's annual forum is held in Xavier University. Yeah, the Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar over there. And I used to be the president from 2009 to 2011 of the International Association. So I worked closely with Father Garazzini and his predecessor, Father Locatelli, in promoting the Jesuit business and management education in this region. And so thank you, Father General, for visiting our campus. And lots of the students, lots of alumni, I believe, they speak highly of the Jesuit education and are very loyal to the alma mater. And on behalf of the 4 vice presidents, thank you for your visiting, and hope we get a chance to communicate today.
Can you share a little more about the common work with the other universities as a way of
Yes.
Keeping the Jesuit identity?
Yes.
I know one of the most important programs of the EASU is to propose business formation that is an alternative for the
Yes.
neoliberal views to programs. And now
Because
the association, for not only for the management school, but also how you see an advantage to be in touch with that university.
Yeah, because this year in the forum, Father Garazzini, the Secretary of Higher Education, gave us some special assignment and to see, how the Jesuit business schools can work together, especially to manage the sustainability issues. So we have come out probably conclusion saying that we probably need to have a task force and and try to get the opinions from the member schools and come up with some probably very concrete action items and also try to see whether these action items can be applied to different Jesuit districts around the world. And I believe the society played a very good platform, provide a very good platform for all the partner schools, and to see how we can do it. Because I like to say we are very similar because we share the same culture, the Jesuit tradition, but we are also very different because for example, Georgetown is in DC, we are here, and Isade is in Barcelona, Spain. Xavier University is in Barcelona. We are in very different environment, very different economic models. So, but we share the common ground. So there must be some similarities and dissimilarities in these action items. So we will continue to meet regularly and see what we can do to nurture the next generation business leads for the world.
Thank you.
So for the general, so the 4 deans of the schools make the report to you already, because the report of the school. So now it's open. Maybe someone like to speak more to the for the general, or you can. We have an open time now. Now it's open.
I have a curiosity about the hospital.
The hospital.
No, about not the hospital, about the finance,
Yeah.
health of the hospital. Other comes to my mind the Javeriana in Colombia, the Javeriana University in Colombia twice. The budget of the university almost broken because of the hospital.
Wow, I see.
It's a very good
Stop.
hospital, no? But the sustainability of a hospital,
Yeah.
how you assure that?
Okay.
It's a little bit difficult because we about 80% income depends on the general insurance.
General insurance.
We have a general insurance system in this country, so it is not easy to get more money from the insurance. But I think the hospital are going well, and it provides the university not only the financial support, but also other resources for teaching, for every kind of interdisciplinary cooperations. So for some departments, it's maybe very difficult to recruit students because now we have low birth rate. But now they should have some transform, like to physicists to transform to medical engineering, and also the informatics to medical informatics, something like that. So I think the hospital will make the university revival in this society.
Sure, we'll see.
I want to make a comment about your last phrase. Because I was a little worried when you were describing that it's a temptation to say, okay, this is the preferences, and we are doing, we have done. And the last line you say, you have to deep.
Deepen.
Okay.
Yeah.
That, don't forget that.
Okay.
All the others is very well, but the preferences are important because they are a strong invitation to deep.
Yeah.
To go deep in all the 4, because the 4 are very deep. Then you cannot take 1
Yeah.
or 2. No? It's a kind of a complete package.
Yeah.
It's 4.
Only once.
There's 4 orientations that must push us to change. Change.
Yeah.
Beginning with ourselves and
Yeah.
changing in our action.
Yeah.
And also a question that came before in the other, with the faculty of theology. how we can learn from the students.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Learn from students.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe you know, I've been many years in a university,
Mm.
42 years.
42 years. Yeah.
After my ordination, I've been
Oh,
all the
I
time
see, I
here.
see. Okay.
All the time in different ways, as teacher, most of the time, but also I was provincial, but I was the chancellor of the university. And I was a rector of another university before coming to Rome. And my experience is that the gap between teachers and students is widened. Because we are another generation, even the young professors. You know?
Yeah.
I remember always the last university there was a student of the last year of the career, was a lawyer. He said, but I don't know how to understand these students the first year.
Oh, you understand, young one. Freshman. No, freshman.
The freshman. So it's a big. So how university really is a space where we can learn from the students. How we can learn and how they can help us to go for a better pedagogy, a better way of understanding the career. No? So I think it's a big challenge. No? We are not those who know, and they are not those who don't know. They know in some areas more than us. How to manage in this new era, this new anthropological.
Yeah.
They know better than us.
Yes,
So we can learn from each other. I think it's very important. And also, I'm very happy to hear that you are offering the students the opportunity to go
to go out.
to
Service.
know the world with their hands. You know, farmers,
Yes.
people, other continents, that change the life of the student. Really.
Yeah.
I think it's a big, that really changed the person.
Yeah. Also, Chinese or Taiwan, we are non-Christian community or country. Sometimes we just live in our society or in our Christian world, you know. Even the language, we use our own word. But spirituality, you have to use the values to know the young people and then tell them the values and then make them believe that and then become a group, become team. It's not easy. The language is also difficult. Yeah.
But I think the point is also we have to learn from them first,
Yeah.
understand and learn from them before they will listen to us.
Okay.
Not in just one direction.
No. They're learning from us.
Maybe things? Do you have anything
About
to share or
Beatty,
to?
want to share something?
Can I add? In following up on Father General's question to you.
Okay.
Well, because your presentation was very interesting because of what we are sensitive to. But this is a tough question. So you use the word many times. You use the word we encourage the people to do this. You encourage a lot. So have you any ways of knowing what are the fruits of the encouragements? For instance, are the prominent lawyers and judges, have they changed the laws in favor of the poor? The business people who come out from here, are they in a line of getting less money for themselves so that people around them will be more, will share more, you know, in the society? How can you feel that you are successful in your encouragement?
I know that people cannot change easily or very fast. It's impossible. But I think encouragement instead of impose, it's very important because encouragement, so they can maybe people can find something they don't know even themselves. So
Father,
we try to
probably
do.
I can help answer this question.
She was not bad.
Well, I will probably have some extra,
His boss.
stories to share with you. I used to be the dean for the business school for 6 years. Peiji is the current dean. The College of Management is probably, if I don't make a mistake, because I interact with the other business school deans of the Jesuit schools from time to time. Our College of Management is probably the only business school having 2 degree programs for social entrepreneurship. One full-time and one part-time. So I often see, when I was the dean and also right now, I often see lots of our graduates, when they have a career in front of them to make decisions, I often see quite a few of them. For example, they got offers to multinational companies or some very high reputation companies in Taiwan, or they have another alternative or other opportunity to work for the social enterprises. We see quite a few of them. They decided to go for the, relatively speaking, a more challenging career in the social enterprises, because it's, social enterprises, even though they have a social mission, but they are still an enterprise. So they have to kind of working very hard, and probably, and also the salary is lower. But we see many students, making a kind of decision. I believe that's because during our curriculum or during our lots of activities or mission-related, exercise or whatever, or workshops, they kind of having some influence on them when they make important decisions. Like, what about graduates? He's currently a social entrepreneur in having his own company, helping those dairy farmers, having some very good
fresh milk.
It's a very high quality milk. Yes, it's fresh. So that's something. I can think of it right now. We have many students.
High quality milk.
It's milk?
Yeah, milk. Yeah. So when they are making decisions, sometimes they will think about this.
Yes.
That implies, there is some impact, for the thinking with regard to value systems, also about their career. To probably, for most young generations, they may go for those multinational companies or companies will make them wealthy. But some of our graduates probably are slightly different. When they are making decisions, they think about the values, they think about whether this is good for the society. That's something I can think of right now.
You had a concrete answer to my question.
As a concrete example.
No, but one thing that you mentioned, in line with what he says, you give financial aid to the poor students, and you encourage them to pay back. I look at it as very important. I would term it as pay forward. I have received, I'm doing well, I need to help others who cannot afford. Do you have any examples of people who have done this?
Yeah.
Yes?
Sure, because for instance, one of our students from the School of Medicine, and he was poor, even cannot support himself by his daily needs. And then today he is a doctor of a hospital. So a few months ago, we found another student who has need in financial need. Then I asked him, can you help? He said, of course. How much? When? So this is not the only example, but we do it this way. We encourage you. I always encourage students that if you have financial problem, don't hesitate to ask for help. Just ask for help. Then one day when you can feedback, you can give it to help the others. And I think this works very well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Father Anselmo, you want to speak some few words to Father General in Spanish?
No.
院长刚
让
刚
他先讲。
I just want to take questions.
I would
Everyone
not say
has questions
anything
are
in
now.
Spanish because nobody would understand this
Okay.
person. But I was thinking to sitting here, all these years I have been in Taiwan from the beginning of the university until now.
Oh.
Our society has changed very much. And the difference is that people are more conscious about the others. And it is very interesting, for example, an old man like myself. When I go out, immediately somebody would come and ask, do you need any help? Do you want us to bring you to some place? If I take a bus, everybody gets up. They sit down. And people are so very kind that I have not seen anything like this anywhere in the world. But somehow I would like to believe that the reason why Taiwan has changed so much, in part, is because of the work of the Catholic Church, influencing the society with different values. At least my students, when they come back to see me, they say, I always remember what you said in class, and they always mention values.
That's true. He was my
He was
professor.
the chair.
He was my professor
I
35 years
didn't
ago.
hear from your values.
I mentioned that.
Yes, you did.
So you have good students that do not. When he was a student, I did not realize that he was good. He didn't give any trouble, and
Improve.
yeah. But then suddenly he is almost the owner of the university.
Awesome. No. The Jesuits are still my boss.
So this is what I want to say. Thanks.
But
a lot, because
I think a very interesting challenge of this university is being a Catholic university where in a population where only 1% is Catholic. And I think it's a nice challenge.
Yeah.
Also for others, also for the university that are in the Christianity culture, but now are secular society.
I say yes.
And they struggle to understand what it means to be a Catholic institution in an environment that is not Catholic, because what before was very different. So I think you're working that sense, how to be really Catholic without imposing, but living
Witness.
and sharing values, because you do these things, how you say, and you make a program, a pedagogy that really is able to share the values you are living. I think it's very important. Also, as a space of dialogue, university is a space of dialogue. And the diversity is a richness for the university. And it's not so how to encourage, because something really challenging for everyone to work together is to understand the other as another. We do something together.
And our next target is to share spiritual exercises to those non-Christians. Yeah.
We're non-Christian, but we do value the value of the soul on this campus. And so now we currently work the statue to place in any place. I'm not so sure. It's a statue for communication, for dialogue. Yeah, even though we're only 1%,
石头椅子。
yeah, we only 1% of the Catholic in this campus, but people need more communication and more dialogues to know each others. And I do do appreciate your comments saying that we need to learn from the young men. We need more dialogue and more communication with them. And I just bring this concrete and successful example to show you that a successful young man who just graduated 4 or 5 years, 5 years, and now he has owned his business, and the current sales per year is around
He was
1
given
million.
some scholarship to study to the United States.
No,
No?
around
NT, that's 100 million.
Not the C.
100 million NT. So it's about 300,000 US dollar.
just started from his own business for 5 years. Now he has make money. They're killing the human being and also value the human-centric value. And he has cooperated with the
我可以补充一个，我们现在在台湾每一年资助15万个小朋友，贫穷的小朋友喝牛奶。
翻译一下。
He also support the young people to share such quality product.
150 million poor kids to have a milk product.
150,000.
15万。
150,000.
Get this milk.
Milk.
And the milk was good.
From Canada, it must be said.
Yes,
Even he's not a child and not a poor child.
About the values, because I also came from university background, and one of the challenges I saw from my background was the formation of the teachers. Because even if the administrators are all value oriented, if the teachers who have direct contact with the students are all career or research you might miss out, in other words. So I've seen that in many places where the formation of staff, faculty can be, at least I've seen, taken for granted. And it's not just a matter of, because you have this orientation, new faculty,
Yes.
3 days, and then it's forgotten. Then at least that's what my experience. Maybe it's not the experience here, but it's a concern for maintaining the value, not just giving it once and then finito. Anyway, but that's
Yeah, especially for those who are not full time.
yeah. Yes.
It's a big challenge.
Just to share, we just finished a meeting, a week-long meeting of the major superiors of Southeast of Asia Pacific, 亚太区的会长。So we talk about the 4 preferences, okay? And it just came to us toward the end that care of the common home. We all care, but it's the weakest, weakest in our consciousness. What to do, how to do. We feel we have to do something, but don't know how to do it. So I think something that with the Catholic University can help. Really, to make sensible. And the meaning is really not superficial. We we don't use straw, plastic straw, use that. That's superficial. Something deeper can help us to work on this. Yes.
We still have 4 minutes. And last one, we invite you to give us blessing. Okay. 但是愿意表达。雷叔，你要不要讲几句话？有什么来讲？
朱神父，
朱神父，
金朱神父。
He's the founder of the School of Medicine.
I have nothing to say, but I told you I am the oldest man here.
Oldest. 94.
And a few days ago, October 1st, I go to China again. I went over 40 times to China. I'm the only Jesuit could openly go to China alone. Nobody else.
Okay, you can begin the blessing.
So as with us in the presence of God, He has been here with us in this conversation, blessed conversation. He's accompanying us in our everyday struggles to be witness of the values we take from the gospel. We are grateful to Him, His inspiration. We want to be also witness of the gospel. So Almighty Father, bless you all, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.